This is Tiger Turbulence, uncensored, unleashed, and turning the torch up on SFA identities. Grand Uncle Horace was the last to go under the torch and be found out to be really old and not so wise. 3 out of 10. He's as thick as a house brick. Anyway, he threw the challenge out to LJP86 from the Dragons, and unfortunately he has not responded to my invitation. And so far he's squibbing it like he's captain, Squib Andy. But for every door that closes, another one opens. And stepping through the door right now is from the Bombers. Welcome to TheCoach16.
Good, mate. Thanks for having me.
Good. You've no idea what's about to happen, do you?
I've never listened to your show, mate. Yeah.
Well, there's your first mistake. Ready? Are you ready?
I am ready, mate. I was born ready.
Righto. I asked the question, due answer. If I don't like the responses, get ready for some heat. Here we go. If LPJ86 refuses to sit in the hot seat, do you think the SFA should officially rename the Dragon FFC the Squibs FFC?
I think that should have been done long ago. That's Ace Andy's team, right?
That's the one, Ace Squib Andy.
Yeah, definitely. That should have already been done.
Right, I'll sign you up on that ticket then, because we're going to get that change if those bastards don't send someone from the Dragon. Imagine a club that's called the Dragons is supposed to have flames, are frightened to get in the hot seat.
Weak as piss.
Absolutely. Fucking ridiculous. Should be ashamed of themselves. Anyway, Blackie stated you wished him physical harm on him in real life, and you wanted to beat him up. Is that right, or is he misreading the rough foreplay?
No, he's not misreading it at all. I'd love to get in a cage with him and a couple of others. I'd love to.
Who are the others?
Oh, I'd definitely have a crack at Braj. Is that how you pronounce it? Braj, Bruges.
I assume so.
Yep.
You go to Sloth, would you?
Oh, 100%. 100%.
Right, we should end up with a SFA buddy cage match.
Oh, I'm ready to go. Happy to meet.
All right, we'll have to work on that. I like the sound of that.
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, from my team, Basti, he was so excited when he heard I was going to have you in the hot seat. Apparently you and him have a bromance going. Is that true?
Who's that?
Basti.
Who's Basti?
You don't even know who he is?
I wouldn't fucking know him if I tripped over him.
Righto, this is a message to you, Basti. You're overrating yourself, mate. He doesn't even know who you are. God, he's in my team.
Yeah, mate.
Righto, he was excited. He was all over it thinking that you and him had something going. Okay.
No, we don't.
Righto, last time I listened to bloody Basti. Righto, when is Metal Crusher announcing he's rejoining the Bombers?
Mate, well, the way he joins every match thread, I thought he was still with us.
Yeah, so when's he joining you? We all know he's coming back. So what's the goss?
Well, is there a mid-season draft or something? Is there a trade period or something?
Yeah, there is a mid-season draft.
Well, then we'll make that happen. We'll make that happen then. Metal Crusher's a true bomber. I don't care where he is at the moment. He'll always be a bomber.
Oh, we all know he's playing at the Bears for you, so that's cool. That's all right. Now that everything's starting to come together for you, that's good. So you hear that, people? Metal Crusher will be out of the Bears, back to the Bombers, mid-season draft. So, Testicle, get your balls out as captain of the Bears and figure out what the trade's going to be, because you need to do something better than last time. You just lose players. And don't get Metal Crusher posting gay porn either. That's a really bad out. Righto. While we're talking about elephants in the room, let's talk about your captain, Wayne's World 19. He just rage quit and stated he's never coming back to the SFA. Now, Tony Lynn stated in a thread, or he started a thread actually, saying he wanted to answer and a fucking scapegoat, and stated he was just learning that his beloved captain had been forced to resign due to some heinous baiting from SFA posters. You responded in the same thread saying you're not sure how to respond. They've crucified a good man and a great leader. So do you really expect us to believe no one in your club knew this was going to happen and that WW19 is a victim that you found out the same time or a little bit after the rest of us? Surely this is another bomber attention-seeking stunt and a weak imitation of when the Fury sacked T. Jester and everyone got upset in season 27.
Okay, first of all, thanks for clearing up the pronunciation of T. Jester, because I never know how that's pronounced. But, we definitely found out the same time as everybody else, right? And it came as a shock to us in the PM.
So your captain who loves his team and is a great leader, didn't even have a decency to have a bit of a talk to his club to say, listen, guys, I'm thinking about standing down, blah, blah, blah. We'll give you a bit of time to think this through. He just picked his skirt up and ran. You expect us to believe that, really?
Yeah, well, look, what you believe and don't believe is not going to really cause me to lose much sleep. What I'm telling you is that he made a decision that was best for him. He probably put a lot of thought into it. He's done what he's done, and we found out when you found out.
All right, so if that's the case, then why did he leave?
Well, I'm not across all of it, but I understand it's got something to do with leaked PMs. Am I close?
Well, he stated that he reckons that halfback is the one that posted a PM. But
okay, so is that okay? Is that okay to do that?
It is when the Wayne's World baited the halfback saying, go on, post it. Go on, show me, prove it. He baited the halfback all the time until the halfback went, okay, there it is. And it was stuff that was on public record anyway, something that Wayne's World had already posted previously.
Okay, so then quote the public stuff. Like, I know that everyone thinks it's funny to leak PMs. It's not, mate. It's not funny. They're personal messages, all right? And I'll tell you something. I've had some real in-depth chats with some people in hardship. People have told me stuff. Imagine if I leaked them for fun.
Yeah, not a problem
all right.
with that.
So, no, there's a huge problem with that.
No, I haven't got a problem with what you're saying. I'm not saying I think you should leak PMs. I PM a lot of people, don't leak them.
Yeah.
But the thing you got to get here, though, is I actually don't think Wayne's World resigned because of a leaked PM, even though that's what he's espousing. I think that's an absolute setup. I think he kept pushing and pushing and pushing so that would happen, so that he would then be able to play the victim. I've been keeping an eye on the bloke, and he's been talking weird since the start of the season. And do you realise that he's actually been putting errors in his team sheets from day one this season and trying to, I reckon, wait for someone to penalise him? And the end result was no one did, because everyone just sat back going, okay, we can see what's going on here, and they let it go. And I think this was his last desperate cry, so he just called the halfback, who he knows is going to push back. I think it's a setup. I think he was looking for an out. Why didn't he just turn around and decide to say, do you really think he would leave the captaincy and leave the SFA because of something that someone did like that? And it's just crap anyway. It's all stuff that he's already publicly posted.
I'll tell you what I believe. I'm happy to take Wayne's World on his word, because from what I've seen, he's always been true to his word.
All right. Well, if you believe that, I've got a PM that Wayne's World posted to a guy in another thread where they asked him why he left the club, and he said it's because he's got a shitload of work, so he's just hasn't got the time.
Okay.
So there's one post in another thread where he's saying, yeah, I just left because, I've got too much to go on, and being a club captain in the SFA is too much work. So I've just, give it up, which is fair. I get that. I understand people do that. But you see, there's the dilemma. You say, I take him on his word. Well, I'm having trouble following which word we follow with him.
You don't have to give it away. Obviously, it's your show. Yeah. But was the person he was talking to a bomber?
No, it was a different group.
So maybe he doesn't want to share exactly what was going on with the Bombers with somebody else. That's what we do. We're inshallah.
No, but if I left the SFA because someone in the SFA posted a PM that I goaded them to post, and they then posted it, and then I decided, and then what? And with the story of that too, you got to remember is when Harvey posted the bit of the extract, the first thing Wayne's World did was went to the mods and said, "Look what he's done. He's just buddy doxed me." So they then cancelled the thread, like removed it. The halfback then went back to them and said, "What the fuck's going on? Why are you kicking me out of this?" And they said, "Because you did this." And he said, No, he asked me to do it, and I've just done what he's asked. And they had a look. They then read back through the thread and went, oh, you're right, reinstated the thread. That's when Wayne's World stood down.
So the halfback had a real issue with it. He didn't want to do it. He only did it because he was asked to do it or baited to do it. Is that what you're saying?
No, Wayne's World called him up and said, bullshit, you haven't got one, you're talking shit. And so the halfback turned around and said, okay, well, I can post it. And Wayne's World said, post it. And so then when he did, Wayne's World then reported him to the mods. So it's one of those things. He did exactly what Wayne's World asked.
I'll tell you what, mate. If any of my PMs get leaked, I'll burn the fucking joint down.
But if you asked me, if I had your PM and you kept saying, go on, post it, and I said no, and you go, post it, and I go, okay, I'll post it. Why would you crack a bag? You've asked me to post it. You're challenging me to post it. That's the point.
You don't need to compromise your integrity just because I baited you.
So you're saying Wayne's World's a victim because he pushed halfback to do something and halfback did it?
I'm saying that I wouldn't leak a PM no matter how much I got baited and no matter how much, because I won't compromise.
Yeah,
because I'm unapologetic for my value.
Yeah, but you wouldn't be goading someone to leak the PM, see, because that's your value. So you've got to remember, it's not halfback gave a PM because he wanted to show him. Wayne's World was saying to him, go on, prove it, do it, because he was actually calling the halfback bullshit, saying you haven't got anything.
And that's fine. What I'm saying is the halfback should have had the integrity and the backbone to go, do you know what? I'm not leaking it because they're my values, right? Because you could bait me all you want. I'm not leaking a PM. I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
So that's pretty weak as piss
Wayne's
as
World.
well.
Wayne's World was posting for a few weeks that Buddy the Halfie was talking shit, and he was saying, "And come on, see, show it," and it just got to the end where he's gone, okay, let's do this then. So yeah,
because the SFA is all about all the evidence, right?
So
no one ever makes it baseless.
So we
no one ever makes it baseless.
So we go back though to the point is, Wayne's World set it up. He wanted the drama, and he was looking for the out. It wasn't just a case of he's a victim. I don't think he's a victim at all. I think it was a complete bloody orchestrated movement.
So what you're saying is he's a genius?
No, not at all.
Well, if he set it up and it all played out beautifully for him, then he's a fucking genius, right?
Will he be coming back to the SFA?
Well, you'd have to ask him.
What do you think, though?
I'd love to see him back. I'd like to see Harrow back as well.
Well, actually,
whole other podcast.
Elton John Wiggs has announced himself as the patron and first donor of the newly formed Sweet FA Statue Committee and wants to erect a statue to the halfback for getting rid of Wayne's World. Will you be donating to that?
No, I will not.
Did you see that thread?
No, I didn't. Is it Elton John Wiggs thread?
Yeah.
Then why would I have seen it?
Oh, you don't look at his stuff?
No.
Oh, you're missing out on some quality gear there, though. He does a good job.
No, I like Elton John's wig, right? And he's often put me in my place. But, no, not for me.
What's your problem? You're saying, I like him, he puts him, but I don't want to look at his shit.
But I hit a girl with a baseball bat once, she cried less than him. That's why.
Is that right?
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, good. I should get a show where I get you two on with me. I think that would be fun because he doesn't.
Happy.
You happy to meet?
Yeah.
Oh, is there another guy you're happy to see in the cage?
100%.
All right, then, Wiggs, get ready. I'm going to start. I'm going to start. I've got a couple of pods going, which is the hot seat, and I've got Turbo's Tub. Turbo's Tub's about love. I get groups of people in there, and we just drink and have fun. It's not about having a go at each other. It's just all about the love. And the hot seat's all about talking shit to each other and facing facts and trying to work it out. But I might start a Turbo's Cage where we actually bring on combatants who can come, and I'll just be the referee and call, hook break and whatever.
Easy.
Yeah,
Easy,
all right. I'll get you and Wiggs then. Will be our first cage match.
Done.
Good. I'm liking it. I like that. You're a feisty bastard. I like this. Righto.
Thanks,
do the Bombers really believe the Simmers are rigging their games and not accepting the fact that your recruiting department and development coaches should be sacked?
Oh, that's an interesting question. Do we really believe that the Simmers are rigging games? All right. I'll tell you what. I think that everyone in the league likes to watch the Bombers lose. It brings you joy, right? You want to see us get our whack, right? You all want to see us lose. You love it. You enjoy it.
Anytime I want to see you lose is when the Furies are playing you. Otherwise, I couldn't give a shit.
Well, for most people, they love to watch the Bombers lose. They
So,
love
do you
to
think the
pile on.
Simmers are rigging? Do you think the Simmers are rigging the game?
What I think is that if you're in a position, I think the human condition is this: if you're in a position to bring yourself joy, you will do it.
Yeah, that's why people masturbate. But anyway, carry on.
Well, I was going to throw in a "call me snake" joke there, but I won't. No, I just think if you're in a position to benefit yourself,
don't work around this. Do you reckon the Simmers are rigging the games against the Bombers? Do you reckon your atrocious losing streak, which coincides with the club's spamming and taking over the media threads, is coincidental, or do you think there's something behind it? And obviously the Simmers are the ones that are doing it.
Well, how does our spamming affect the game?
What I'm referring to there, though, is the massive people that started to be pissed off with the Bombers bombarding threads and overdoing it seem to match your losing streak.
So you're basically answering the question. If we're annoying people and people want to see us get our right whack, then why wouldn't you manipulate the result?
So do you think the Simmers are rigging the games?
I'm certain of it.
Good, call them out. Don't hold back.
I'm not holding back. I just want to make sure that I'm measured in my response.
Right, that's unusual for a bomber.
No, I'm not Uncle Horace, mate.
Yeah, Uncle Horace. You have to listen to the interview I did with him. So, Simmers are rigging the games against the Bombers. So you reckon what they do is they sit there and they just keep playing the game until they get the result they want?
Yes.
And do you think all the Simmers are involved in that activity? Or actually, this would be a question to ask. When you play, because you're obviously the Bombers, so you're playing every week in the Bombers, are you getting the same Simmer or are you getting different Simmers?
I think we get different ones.
Okay.
You have to remember who you're speaking to, right? I don't pay a lot of attention to what happens too far out of the Bombers.
Well, I just think, though, like if Barry Brand did your game or Natural Dumbass did your game, every time that's different to everybody else who does get a few different ones. It'd be like, okay. Because there's either one Simmer that just does it and he's doing it, or are they all involved? Are all the Simmers just all corrupt?
Is it a conspiracy, are you asking?
Yeah, are all the Simmers in it?
Yeah, possibly, yeah. I'd be comfortable with that, yeah.
And you know what they would answer? They would answer that we've got more to do. I couldn't care less
what they would answer, yeah.
Well, their answer would be, we've got more to do than keep re-simming until we get the game that, gets the result and put it in there. Yeah, because, we're busy. Do you reckon they'd actually have enough behind them to do that? And if they did that and it was proven, what does that mean for the SFA?
How would you prove that?
You'd have to get an insider you have to get a Simmer on the inside to be able to prove that.
Yeah. Well, you know that you had to walk me through actually, being able to speak to you. That's how much I know about technology, right? But I've asked people who know. We've got some people at the Bombers who are very tech savvy.
Yeah.
And this isn't hard to do, nor is it hard to avoid, nor is it hard to prove. Now, I don't know how any of that works, but if you listen to them tell it.
Well, my understanding is pretty easy. Is you sim the game, and if the Bombers win, you then just go, righto, done, re-sim the game again, replay it. Bombers win again, okay, done. Re-sim the game again, Bombers lose, okay, good. And then that's what you then post as your threat. That's what you put in.
Correct. How easy is that?
Absolutely. So that's why it's a legitimate question. It's a legitimate question. Do you honestly believe, because your losing streak is shocking, do you believe that's just chance, which, that's what the Simmers are saying. They're going, it's just chance. To me, I look at it and go, chance is throw a coin up, heads, tails. Are you going to throw like 20 heads in a row? Can't see it.
Well, you'd have to speak to Lunity about that one. He's the maths.
Well, you'd argue with that.
He's the maths guy, right? But if it's that simple, right, then, and the human condition is such that we are happy to make ourselves happy, then you can put 2 and 2 together.
So you're pretty confident that the Bombers are being shafted. There's manipulation in the background to ensure that the Bombers are losing. Is that correct?
Yeah. Yes, yeah. That is correct.
Good.
You can definitely press record on that.
Right. Righto. I've seen a lot of people state they're not looking forward to coming up against the spamming Bombers. You know, there's a lot of rhetoric there. So who do you dislike coming up against and why?
Okay. I don't think it's specific posters that I don't like coming up against.
What teams?
I think it's a type of poster.
Oh, okay. Right? What type of poster then?
Well, so I like the guys who make me stop and think. Right? So you're in a back and forth, you know, you're in a one-on-one, and you get the notification and you look at their post and you go, fuck, I better be careful what I say next. Brad was the king of it, right? And it makes you better. It takes you to another level. That's what I enjoy. Filth Wizard, that low-life worm, he's good at it, right? Noobzor, is that how you say it? Noobzor, Noob Zero, or Campaigner, I don't know. Blackie's good at it. Braj to an extent. The Jesus used to be good at it before he became a crybaby.
Yeah, what happened to him?
I don't know. He changed his name to Muffenhagen Zubendegen, and then back to the Jesus, and I don't know, he just started crying more than Elton John's wig.
I thought what was weird with that was, as the Jesus, he was really good. Then when he changed himself to middle finger, bumhole, finger, he sort of changed again, but he wasn't. He still had a little bit of edge there. Then he went back to and my thought was, oh, thank fuck, he's the Jesus again, because that was, I liked the Jesus. He was the good Jesus.
He was.
You got the baby Jesus and the old Jesus and the dead Jesus. He was the Jesus, and I liked that. But yeah, he just hasn't captured the magic.
No, he's been crying too much.
Yeah.
I think he's been hanging out with Elton John's wig.
You reckon the expansion bid has just done him in?
Could be. You'd have to ask him, but could be.
I don't have to ask him. We can subject that. We can make an opinion.
Well, then, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that's what I want to hear.
Absolutely fuck him.
Good. Right. All right. You're on board now.
So, there are blokes who do that. They make you stop and think and go, I've got to be really careful. My next step has to be really careful, right? And they're the type of posters that I like coming up against, and I've named a couple of them. Brad was the king of it. Right.
So who do you think of the tryhards then that are trying to do that but just don't have it?
The ones who come up with, you're a dickhead, you're a shit poster.
No names though. Does any names come to you? You think that they think they're a name in the SFA, but they're just pretending?
Oh Jesus, yeah. What's his name? Dopey Joe. What's his name? Dapper.
Oh, Dapper John, I think it is. Yeah.
That's it. Yeah. Yeah.
You don't like him?
He's the worst. He's the worst.
You're not an anti-Asian, are you? Is
he Asian?
No, I think his picture is.
Oh, well, then no, I'm not anti anything. I'm anti him, is what I am anti. Yeah. I'm anti stupidity. I'm anti ignorance, and I'm anti the same surface level rubbish.
Geez, a lot of people be wondering why you're at the Bombers then. I found that funny. Okay. Yeah, have you been approached by any clubs to join them in the last few seasons?
No.
No one's approached you?
Early days, I got a couple of requests, but it's like when my mates asked me to go out. I said no so many times they've stopped asking, because I'm pretty antisocial, right? Don't like anyone, don't like people. So people get sick of it, I think. Plus, I'm not that good. I think I had them bluffed early, right? So there were a few coming, and then they saw me and they went, he's not fucking that good. Stop asking him.
So how long have you been at the Bombers for?
Since season 23.
23. All right.
Back-to-back flags in 23 and 24.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Do you reckon you're going to stay a Bomber? Like, have you at this point have you sort of committed that you're not going to look for another club?
Bomber for life.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, Bomber for life.
Yeah, excellent. All right. People see the Bombers as Kofi, Tony Lynn, and the coach, the three. When are you going to recruit some decent posters so people see you as more than three decent posters?
Okay. We actually have a plethora of. We've got the best posting side.
I could hear that breath you took then. That's why I'm laughing.
In the competition, right?
Yeah.
Antonio Blue Vein, absolute gun. Call me Snake. Like, we just got blokes. The new recruits, our rookies. I don't know any of their names.
I was going to say, you actually know who they are?
No, they're brilliant.
Oh, they'll be loving that. I'll make sure I tag them in on this so they can hear this.
Yeah, I've asked them not to speak to me.
Well, that's fair
enough. But they're brilliant, right? But look, with the big three tag, right, we get that a lot. I reckon I'm flattered by that because Kofi and Tony Lynn, 15, are two of the best posters this competition has ever seen, ever will see. And to get mentioned in the same breath as them is just ridiculous for me. They are head and shoulders above everyone else, and then there's Daylight. But look, I'll take it. I'm happy to take the credit.
So who have you recruited to the Bombers?
Nobody.
So you don't do any work at all? You just sit back on the tails of everybody else?
Not even when I was captain.
Did you do the timesheet when you were captain?
I did nothing. Tony Lynn did everything. We were co-captains. Tony Lynn did everything.
Co-captains, which meant Tony Lynn did the whole job and you were just taking the accolades.
He fucking did everything, and I sat back and just kept thanking him and going, hey, TL, can you do the team this week? And I fucking did it 3 weeks in a row. I said, yeah, one more. And he'd just do it. We've had some brilliant captains at the Bombers, but the TheCoach16 is definitely not one.
No, I'm getting that. Although in some ways you could go, you're actually the most successful coach. I love it.
Maybe.
Oh, I love it. Righto. Time is up.
Oh.
One last question. Who would you like to see in the hot seat next?
Well, considering I've never listened to any of the shows, I don't know who's been on.
Well, you give me a name and I'll tell you whether the bastards have been on.
Can you get Noobs or what's his name?
Well, you got to tell me.
Noobs or what's his name?
Noobs or. Righto. Yeah. That's who you're calling?
Yeah.
Righto.
How do you pronounce that?
I'm just going to go with your pronunciation. If you've ever listened to a Tiger Turbulence telecast, you'll know I do not pronounce names or actually English correct most times. So I am not the person to talk to. There we go. You heard it, Noobs. Have you got the kahoonies to sit in the hot seat? Until next time, this is Tiger Turbulence turning up the heat.